Senator Johnson brought his daughter to me, Krista. Some are calling nodding their head positively in acknowledgement of that. Senator Johnson came to me. Thank you. Thank you. Senator Johnson brought his daughter to me, and several times he came and said, Senator, my son, please talk to President Walker to give my daughter a job. I trust you and your relationship with the president. I said I will honor that request. 2 days before his passing, Senator Johnson called me and said, Distinguished, please don't forget. I said, I will meet the president in Grand Bassa County for the funeral of the late Superintendent of Grand Bassa County, and I will remind him and push him. Thursday morning, we in Grand Bassa County for the funeral of the late Superintendent of Grand Bassa County when Krista called me for the funeral. I said I will honor that request. 2 days before his passing, Senator Johnson called me and said, Distinguished, please don't forget. I said, I will meet the president in Grand Bassa County for the funeral of the late Superintendent of Grand Bassa County, and I will remind him and push him. Thursday morning, we in Grand Bassa County for the funeral of the late Superintendent of Grand Bassa County when Krista called me early in the morning crying. Senator, Daddy gone, he left me with you. And that's when I knew that the rumor about, and she told me what happened to the woman. I'm being an emotional person, I broke down. I called the protest, informed her. When Senator Daba Babla came, Senator Boto Kane came, all of them came to Grand Bassa County. I said, by the time the president arrived in Grand Bassa County at the protest house for the funeral, right in her living room, I said to the president was also down. And I said to the president, I said, Mr. President, Senator Johnson left a witch, a last will, maybe with me, for us to intervene. And please talk to President Walker to give my daughter a job. I trust you and your relationship with the president. I said I will honor that request. 2 days before his passing, Senator Johnson called me and said, Distinguished, please don't forget. I said, I will meet the president in Grand Bassa County for the funeral of the late Superintendent of Grand Bassa County, and I will remind him and push him. Thursday morning, we in Grand Bassa County for the funeral of the late Superintendent of Grand Bassa County when Krista called me early in the morning crying. Senator, Daddy gone, he left me with you. And that's when I knew that the rumor about, and she told me what happened to the woman. I'm being an emotional person, I broke down. I called the protest, informed her. When Senator Daba Babla came, Senator Boto Kane came, all of them came to Grand Bassa County. I said, by the time the president arrived in Grand Bassa County at the protest house for the funeral, right in her down. And I said to the president, I said, Mr. President, Senator Johnson left a witch, a last will, maybe with me, for us to intervene. And the president asked what was that? And I explained to him. I said, we have to honor his wish, Mr. President. And he said, they don't do that. I'm saying this not to give my daughter a job. I trust you in your relationship with the president. I said I will honor that request. 2 days before his passing, Senator Johnson called me and said, "Distinguished, please don't forget." I said, "The president, I will."
Yeah, in plenary today, about an hour or so ago, about my rejection of the decision taken by the Senate. It's a sad day for our country. It's a sad day for the rule of law. The rule of law is seriously under attack in our country. I was kind of disappointed today when the Senate reached that decision. And where did the Senate reach that decision? It was our consultation at a meeting that was called for consultation, at a consultative meeting of the Senate. That's where that decision was reached. And how was that decision reached? We were one of the items for the consultative meeting was the crisis at the House of Representatives. At the House of Representatives, how could we as elders or Senate continue our engagement with the two factions of the Senate? And there were very good suggestions at first as to how we could proceed. And what we agreed initially was that we continue with the
Kindly hit
posture
for us
with
the
which we
share
started
button,
as a
please.
Senate. And
Share
that
with
posture
friends and families. And let's get
is
ready.
that of mediation. So we appointed a committee, a specialized committee headed by Senator Besanga Finley of Grand Bassa County to lead the Senate's engagement with the House of Representatives, all the people involved, including the COFA side, and the quote unquote majority.
So while we are getting ready, fellow Liberians, let me just inform you that from the 27th of December to the 28th, we will be in Iowa. And our purpose in Iowa is to have a strategic retreat under the banner of the CDC USA Reformer. We will be having a very strategic retreat. There is a need for us to sit down. There is a need for us to discuss. There is a need for us to talk. A lot of things are happening. And those of us in the US, we have the proximity to the power that can change things around the world. We cannot keep sitting here in the US and feel so comfortable when Mr. Boyka is disrespecting the rule of law, killing our people, turning Liberia into a pariah nation, and is leading as if Liberia is his personal property. Then we sit and we be complacent. There is a need for a robust action on the part of patriotic Liberians that are here in the US. And to be able to do that, there are people who must be able to stand up against what is happening in Liberia. People must be able to speak out against what is happening. And fellow Liberian, what is happening because you and I have refused to take the necessary actions. Anytime a group of people choose to live in silence, it is like giving the evil or the bad people an opportunity to behave the way they are behaving. It's to give them an opportunity. And it is unfortunate. We cannot continue to behave in this form, in this way, and in this manner. We can't. So we must rise up and tell Boeka that enough is enough. We have come a long way. We have come a long way. We have come a long way in ensuring that we have the Liberia that we have. So to allow somebody like Mr. Boeka to just behave and just disrespect the rule of law, and all of us sit down there and we think all is well, and we think all is well. I think it is unfortunate, and that's the reason why we are calling on all of you. We are calling on all of you to join us there in Iowa. But let's go on and bring you this while we get started, to bring you what we are supposed to bring you. Kindly hit for us the share button.
They have not reported to us. They have not reported to us as to what they have found, and that has not been done yet. So when the matter was brought up for discussion, the majority opinion was that we continue with this posture of mediation and negotiation, so that we can help in finding a resolution to this crisis that has beset the lower house for
Please
quite
help
some
us to hit
time
the share
now.
button. Please share with friends and share with
And
family
that's the
members.
position. Until later on, one of the senators brought to our attention that the president has recognized the majority black. Why? He said because there was this opinion of the Attorney General, who is a Minister of Justice, interpreting the opinion of the Supreme Court. And that interpretation was in favor of the majority black. And therefore, the president recognized the majority black. Then the discussion started all over again, and going away from our previous position of maintaining our neutrality and moving forward with our mediation and negotiation. And back and forth suggestions were made that once the president has recognized the people, we too should do so. Some of us said no. In the first place, whatever opinion provided by the Minister of Justice is his understanding of the Supreme Court's decision. It's not a Supreme Court's opinion. I have my own understanding. I'm the legal counsel for that matter for the Senate. We have a legal department, but I head the legal committee of the Senate. So you rather get my opinion on that instead of opinion from the executive. That man advises the executive branch of the government. But in the first place, it's not supposed to interpret the Supreme Court opinion to be the opinion, to be the opinion. That is in understanding. Everybody has his understanding of the opinion. I did my part. I did my interpretation, which is correct interpretation of the law of the opinion, how the Supreme Court interpreted the Constitution, Article 33, Article 49 of the Constitution. I provided my own insight on that. Which if any minded person will look at will say yes, this is a correct interpretation.
Do you feel
what the Supreme Court said? But then they say, well, so let's put it to a vote. Let's put it to a vote. And in the first place, I called them to order. I said, this is not a place we are in a consultation. We are not in plenary. We are supposed to make decisions in plenary. The fact that we are not in plenary, we cannot take a vote on this matter. So let's go to plenary before the vote. The majority had a day. They said no, they'll go ahead. So firstly, it was also wrong that they did so, that decision was taken during our consultative meeting. Then they went ahead and
So we are going to be discussing the issue of the march. We are going to be discussing the issue of the assembly. I want to use this time to welcome my own brother and friend, the Honorable James Creighton. You are highly welcome. Thank you for joining us. I want to welcome John Miller. Thank you so much joining us there from Rwanda, Kigali. Thank you, my brother, for your presence. I want to welcome my own sister, Hawatote. How are you, Mama? Love you so much. Thank you so very kindly for the support and everything you continue to do. I want to also welcome Noah Deacon. Thank you so much, Noah Deacon, for your presence here. So while we await Honorable Janje Gbiakpe, I want to play this video for you to hear it from yourself, from Senator Chie. How people have decided to disrespect the rule of law. How people have decided to ignore the Supreme Court and do what they want to do. And it is dangerous. The way they are proceeding is even more dangerous than even the wartime. It's more dangerous. Because the only thing that we have to defend and protect us as common people, it is the law, the constitution. So when group of people decide that they will do things in the way they want to do it and not looking at legality, then it is dangerous. It is the recipe for chaos in our country. That's why when I'm listening to people who say, is the issue, Fonatikofa will be the legitimate president, but we the one will be there. It's a recipe for chaos. Then it means what you are telling us as Liberians, that we can go ahead and do whatever we want to do, disrespect the law and do whatever we want to do. At the end of the day, when we get plenty of people to back us, we are right. It is dangerous for our democracy. Looking at a nation that is just from 14 years of civil unrest. They say 14, but me, I say more than that. Where people went to war because they felt that their rights were being trampled upon, allegedly. People went to war because they felt that they were not given the opportunity to be able to exercise their democratic franchise. That's why they went to war. That's why they went to war. People went to war not because they just wanted to fight, but according to them, the law that is supposed to protect them, the government that is supposed to be the protector of every one of us, according to some of them, the government turned back on them. The government refused to listen to them. It was doing its own thing. So because of that, they jump into action and jump into the butches. Boyka is dragging Liberia down to the dungeon, and we're sitting down and we think it is okay. For some of us, we will not keep quiet. For some of us, we will not be silent. Because at the end of the day, it affects us. It affects us. And we cannot be here in the US with all of the opportunity and with all of the proximity. Can you imagine people pay millions of dollars just to come in the US here to see some of these lawmakers? So people pay thousands of dollars to just come here and be able to appear in front of some of these lawmakers. But you and I, we cannot be here in this country where we have every right to be able to see our lawmakers and allow Joseph Newman Boyka to proceed in this manner. Then we always satisfy, we okay, we keep quiet. We say, oh, let's leave the man, let's leave the man. No, it's not let's leave the man. The reason why almost 300,000 Liberians died, they died because few group of people decided to disrespect the rule of law. And the other group of people say, but saying you don't want us to use the law to do what is right, we'll use the butches. That's why they went to war. We lost 300,000 plus of our people, innocent people. Some of them have never worked in government one day. Some of them don't even know the executive mansion. Some of them in their villages and their towns, they have never even entered Morovia. But they were affected. Some of them lost their lives. They lost property. Villages were burned and etc. So if you sit down and think that it is okay for us, because we in America and we must keep quiet, we must shut our one more, we must lead the people think, then you are making a sad mistake. For some of us, will not keep quiet. Because this is not about silence. It's not about silence. The way Boyka is proceeding, I see war, I see instability. That's how these things start. You know, sometimes when we say these things, people get afraid and say, God forbid, don't say it. That's true. I know. I do not support war because I have family members, I have friends, I have other things that were seriously affected by the war. I do not support war. But when I see the signs and the symptom of war, I must say it to you. I must not sugarcoat it. And that's the reason why we need to continue to call on our international partners. The ECOWAS has spent too much for us to reach this far. People died in that country in defense of peace and democracy. There were people who left their families. They came to Liberia to ensure that democracy is instilled on that particular land. What did we do as a people? We ran behind them from different sides. And some of them, they were victims of the war. They died in a war that they have no reason of fighting. No reason of fighting. Some of them, they don't even have grave in defense of this democracy. There are some of you, your mothers and your fathers, did not even see Morovia, but they were victims of the situation. People went to their villages and their towns. And they were, some of them, their breakers were deleted. I will try to use this word. Their breakers were deleted only because they are crowned, or they were crowned, sorry. Because they belong to the maybe the Geo tribe. And they got rid of them. Must we sit down and see Joseph Numa Boyka proceeding in this way? Then we always say, yeah, it's okay. We all ready. Happy. Let's leave it this way. Something must make a group of people to sit down and say enough is enough. There must be a pushing force that will allow people to sit down and say, but that thing here is not looking right. Even a Boyka, that medicine man, if he's sleeping or he lay down with a medicine man, the medicine is not strong enough to make almost the 5 point something million people silent. No, it's not possible. It's not possible. They agreed that Boyka medicine too strong. Yeah. Say the man, he left medicine being a medicine too strong. But his medicine or his juju or whatever you will call it is not strong enough to make all of us, the 5 million plus people in Liberia, minus the ones that are outside, for that medicine to work on us. It's not possible. It's not possible. It is not possible. And that's the reason why, fellow Liberians, we must do everything to ensure that the rule of law is respected. And how is the rule of law? How can we ensure that the rule of law is respected? Is by telling government to do what is right. But I will continue to say this. There is one thing that Boyka have seen, and I can tell you this. There is one thing that Boyka have seen. Boyka have seen a group of spineless people who are afraid, so-called, so to say, afraid. We are not scared to talk, but we are afraid, fellow Liberians, to stand up for our rights. But look, the good thing about it is that this generation of ours will not succumb or kowtow to the disrespect of the Constitution. It was yesterday, the generation before us, that we say, let's leave it here with the government thing. Let's leave it here, the government thing, the government people thing. Mustn't put our more inside, mustn't put our hand inside. I agree. I agree. It was yesterday. It was yesterday, the generation before us will say, that here we not talk, we not put ourselves inside because and the way things looking now, it will put our hand inside, it will not be correct. So my son, I beg you keep quiet. This generation is not a generation that you will tell to keep quiet and they will keep quiet. No, 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 no. And oh no, it's not. We cannot sit and see our house on fire. Then you tell us, say, no, don't talk, keep quiet and shut out your mouth. They think don't put your mouth inside. No, it's not possible. Say not possible. It's not possible. It is not. It is not possible. This new generation of ours is a generation that is prepared to look in the faces of their leaders and say, you cannot proceed the way you are proceeding. It's not fair. It's not correct. This generation of ours is a generation that will constructively engage their leaders and say, leader, With all due respect, sir, but you can't go this way. This is not how it's supposed to be. This is not how it's supposed to work. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. The complacency is too much. It's too much among us as a people. Until we can show to our leaders that enough is enough. Until we can show to our leader that this thing is just completely, look, it's too much for us to bear. Until we can show it to them, they will continue to just behave the way they are behaving. Imagine a government will take over and we just jump straight into the action of the first action of killing our people. And we sit down there, nobody talk. Is it that kept my people? That kept my people. That one make Bweka now a sweet in Bweka. Our people have this saying. Now it is sweet in the mouth of Bweka. Mr. Bweka is complicit because the first time he committed that atrocity that is supposed to bring Liberians out, that is supposed to produce an outrage amongst the people. Guess what happened? Somebody say, oh, that kept my people, that leader. That kept my people. That leader. Any vote for United Party, that leader. When Joseph Newman Bweka went as far as disrespecting the rule of law, the Constitution, the Supreme Court, that told him, oh man, you cannot continue in this manner. You cannot continue in this form. Lead the people then were in any position. Joseph Newman Bweka disrespected them and said to hell with how you call the Supreme Court. I want to welcome the Honorable Moses Akaras Gray. I want to say you are highly welcome, sir. We are looking up to the time that we'll be able to host you here. I know you are a very busy person, very busy man, but we are hoping to have the time that will officially host you. I want to welcome you. So people must stand up, and those of us in the United States, we must play our part. You know, one of the reasons why people use this statement, even though I don't like to buy it, but why people will say the Congo people, they are united. I don't buy that. And you know why? They will stand with each other. They will ensure that they support each other. Why you think certain group of people led us for 27 plus years in one party system? Was because they were together. Because they formed a ring around themselves and said, we cannot. There is no way, absolutely no way we let each other fall. Leave no one back. The code. So they will put their resources, they will put their effort, they will put their energy into everything that is happening. They don't want to know whether you like it or not, whether you want or not. They don't want to know. The reason why the people will tell us that you and I, we are foolish is because at the end of the day, they use us to go against ourselves. To go against ourselves. But I don't want to believe that we are foolish. We are not fools. We are not fools. But the way we have behaved in time past have proven to these people that we are fools. That we're doing nothing. All we do is to talk, talk, and talk. Why will other nations be going forward and we going backward? I want to welcome my own brother Ansu Soni, who is on the YouTube page with us. I want to say you are highly welcome. Thank you so very kindly. Victor Daba, thank you so much for joining us there from Upper Corwell. You are highly welcome. This must stop. We must look at what happened in Corwell with our brother. That brother was beaten and was killed only because somebody said the man stole LEC current. You know the story. Thank God that we have somebody here joining us from there, from Upper Corwell. That brother was beaten and that brother was killed. At the end of the day, what becomes of that particular brother? What becomes of a family? What becomes of the children? Nothing happened so far. Absolutely nothing happened. People who should be languaging behind bars for committing these heinous atrocities, at the end of the day, they are out. They are out. Look, Liberians, I want to say to you, we are preparing the ground for the Honorable Janje to join us. This is the time that we must put our all into this. If you are here in the US of A and think that me and I got no fees to fry, you lie. Because at the end of the day, it is you and myself that will feed the weight. Yeah, we are not getting much. There's not much we are getting. Even if somebody is making $50 an hour, when you finish paying all of the bills you finish, you are left with nothing. Nothing you are left with. You are not left with anything. And at the end of the day, compounded with the family problems. Because the family will not call you, oh, my hair hurting you. Then you say, oh, I will not do nothing. With all of the anger that we have. But your family members will not call you from back home. Friends will not call you from back home. And you can extend one or two things. So we are in this together. Like I was telling you about the so-called people say Congo, all these things. That's not something. But the thing is, look at what they did with Samuel Kanyado. When Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and others, they felt disenchanted. They decided that we are going to leave Liberia. I want to welcome my own brother, Mohammed Kamara. You are highly welcome. Thank you so very kindly. At the end of the day, they said they will leave Liberia. And they left Liberia. Upon their departure from Liberia, they did not sit and fold their arms. They did not sit and fold their arms. According to what they accused the government of, that the government have, was practicing nepotism, they were doing this, and all of the big English you can think about, all of the heinous crimes that you can think about, it was labeled against the government of the late President Samuel Kanyado. They decided to back their words with action. They went as far as the prison and said, let's take Taylor from in this prison, let him go and go wage war and kill people because we want for our rights to be respected and restored. But we are not going to do that because we are not of that breed. We are not as evil as they were or they are. So we will not do that. But what we need to do is to support the cause. It's to call on our people. It's to promote this thing. It's to promote it. You know how much the United States of America have spent on our democracy to bring us where we are? All of these tenure positions, they were never created by President Weah or by you and myself. It was Joseph Newman Boyka and Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf that created this tenure position. At the end of the day, they come and decide that we'll kick this tenure, we'll disrespect the tennis position, and we must be excited. As I speak to you, look at a young guy today was killed in Liberia. He was killed in Liberia. Somebody who just graduated from Stars Technology College. All over, there are deaths, all over, mysterious death, all over. Then you happy, fellow Liberians, especially those of you in the US here. Let me speak to your consciences. Those of us that are in the US, are you excited? Put money together, support the thing that will restore justice to your country, that will restore the rule of law, that will restore respect. Put your money together. Call these people. Support them. Wherever you see them, make sure that they are seriously supported. We cannot continue in this manner. We cannot continue in this form. Enough is enough. We will not be able to use arms. No, because it is not part of our nature. The land is for us. We will not spill the blood of our own brothers and sisters, but we'll do it democratically because we have the right and all of the constitutional authority are behind us, both the national and the international. Will you sit down there and keep quiet? History will judge you. Will you sit there and say, oh, the thing, and I'm a deal, yeah, all the way in the year, I will not put my more inside. History will judge you. It is about time that man must rise up to the occasion to tell Mr. Boyka and his gangster that enough is enough. To the extent that even the U.S. embassy is even writing Mr. Boyka and say, Boyka, the thing that you're doing is not good. He said, he are begging, I get time for you, you better go sit down. But fellow Liberians, we are grateful to have with us the Honorable former Superintendent of Grand Bassa County, the Honorable Janje, who was with us, who was with us last 2, I think, days ago. And today he is with us so that we can discuss lengthily and ask him all of the hard questions. So, Honorable Superintendent, you are highly welcome. Former.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sheriff, for the invite, and thank you for the good thing you've been doing for Liberia, providing information to the people, digging all the facts, going beyond the horizon, to making sure that our people are informed. I want to appreciate you so hard for the level of hard work you've been doing. And I want to say to you, we are on course. The momentum is growing. And thanks for the dissemination of information for your platform as well. Just getting home. I'm just getting home sent yesterday. I'll be leaving again early in the morning because we're reaching out from district to district, community to community, talking to our people, and the momentum is growing. It is a peaceful, non-violent, non-partisan protest of peaceful assembly. And I can assure you that it will be peaceful, it will remain peaceful. So it's good, and I want to appreciate you for bringing me on this evening from my end tonight. So I will trail you through as the question unfold. I will look at the concerns of the people, but I want to use this time to appreciate Marco Gime as well, a POA platform, many Liberian in the diaspora and other places, home and abroad, are contributing towards the process. I want to appreciate all of you. You are not getting me money from my pocket. Your contribution meant to keep our people together on that day. Buy water, buy food, transportation, renting of buses. I appreciate all of you valuable contribution you have made. We are still asking you for contribution as well because the process continues. We'll be having a press conference tomorrow. I hope to link you up with the press conference tomorrow to bring people about exactly how the process will be. So again, thank you so much for the invite. I'm here. And follow the process. We're going to answer the hard question you're going to ask as usual. And we're still going to go through the process. I want to thank you this evening.
Thank you so much, Honorable. Thank you so much for always availing yourself for this singular purpose to ensure that we have a better Liberia and that democracy is respected and that we continue to enjoy that democratic, rights as Liberians, both in and out of Liberia. Thank you so very kindly. But Honorable, I want to start straight into the meat of this discussion. You've been in Liberia with all of what has been happening. One would say you people have been sitting. The first thing that happened was the killing of Liberians in King Jaw. Statement was issued, or statement were issues, by different organizations. The second thing we saw happening was the removal of people in tenure position. Statements were issued. We saw $28 million or $22 million plus leaving from our national coffers that should go towards the building of clinics, ensuring that our children are in schools. That particular opportunity, again, money was collected, given to the Ministry of Public Works. At the end of the day, was mismanaged, only for them to tell us they are okay. And we saw a statement from the people. Why is it that now this time around, with all of the statements that you people have issued, now this time around you decide to back your action with a physical approach? Why not just continue with issuing statements to all of these our international partners, continue in the same route instead of now wanting to be very physical, in other words, assembling people? Don't you think that this is going to weaken your entire advocacy?
Well, Prince, let me say this to you. In every given circumstances and situation, you give people the benefit of the doubt to see whether they can make or come back. You must establish a cause of your action. If the cause of your action is not established, you don't have a cause to do anything. Joseph Burger, the President Burger felt that he made some mistake from the very beginning. We're not going to see this action. We empathize with those who lost their life in Kinyon Kidman. We sympathize with the two motorcyclists that lost their life in Ganta, Nima County. We sympathize with the boy that the police killed in Rehab. We empathize the condition of our people. We know that many of our people are going to bed with hunger in their stomach because they were wrongfully dismissed from Liberian workplaces as civil servants. We know that our brothers and sisters that were in the EPS, the Executive Protective Service, over 500 of them were dismissed. Today, they were never disarmed. We don't know what some of them will become of. In fact, their kids are not in school anymore, and they're crying here and there. Over 700 people on supplementary payroll were relieved of their job from Ministry of State. Today, the women and men are passing around the street as beggar in our own country. Many of these people were met on job 6 years ago and they left them there. Today, they are out of job today. This action is never belated. To stand up for Liberia is never belated, Prince. It's never belated. Any day, anytime, there can be a call for action when government are proceeding wrongly in the country. What will happen on Tuesday will happen again. They cannot change their action. They cannot change their behavior towards the running of the country. I'm saying this to you with passion. I'm saying this to you because I believe I know exactly what is on the ground. I know what is obtaining. I know Liberians that are working as civil servants, they be intimidated every day and night. These are actions that precipitated our peaceful assembly. Today, I was in District 14, Prince. A lady that was working at Ministry of State with 3 children. After they put her down, when she saw me, she said, my son, I'm coming to that protest because the majority took today. My kids are not in school anymore. I'm begging lawmakers not to pay my children's school fee. It's disgraceful for me. I've been feeding my children. Today they are not in school. So that to eat is difficult. Because they violated their rights. We cannot sit in the faces of these violations of the rights of people. We cannot sit in the faces of the violation of the Constitution and remain. Yes, we wrote those releases to inform them about what it's doing. When your child is with you, you can't just go and beat the child when the child does anything wrong. Sometimes you remind the child or you tell the child, don't do this anymore. This is not the best way to go. So we treated them like that. But we documented all of their actions. $22 million. Liberia Mercy went in flat. They were in chair. You understand? The public work minister cannot give any account of this. And the disgraceful part about it, Senator Darrell didn't know who are the loud talker in this country. Who are the loud talker in the country who are talking loudly against other government. That identical public work minister went to them, he was car-free. And 22 million in just like that. The rules is very inaccessible for our people. People cannot commute from one place to another freely because the rules are bad. Yes, we issue those releases to remind them that there will come a time, the day of reckoning is ahead. We will not get tired of writing. We will not get tired of talking. We talk, we write, and put them on the spot, and also take on them with peaceful assembly to inform the world alike that this government did not come to rescue anything. They came to rescue themselves. Today, one man generator can feed thousands in a home. You understand? One man generator, those that were talking loudly. So I want to say to the Liberian people out there in and around Liberia, this struggle is not about a Janje backward standing in the struggle. This struggle is not about, it is not about Speaker Kofa. This struggle is not even about the president himself. It is about us as Liberians and the respectability of our constitution. And the rule of law should be upheld at all times, at any given situation.
So, if I may come in with this, we saw a group of Liberians from the very inception of this thing, having a kind of gathering at the house, either be a protest or whatever. And that did not succeed. Just few group of people came, and there were nurses here, there, police came, and these people dispersed in the thin air. One of the most noticeable voice was one of our brother, a Liberian, Vendela Patrick, and other people. One is asking, what is so different from what was held yesterday as compared to this one? We saw a group of Liberians. They were all on different social media page and on different radio stations, and saying that they will rally Liberians. Liberian will come up, but at the end of the day, only for us to see just few group of people, and when the police show up, somebody will say they disappear in thin air. So what should we trust you, or what should we trust others? What difference is this going to make? Is it not the same old, charade, people making a riot? Oh, we can't answer, we can't answer. And at the end of the day, nothing will happen. And these are some of the concerns that our people are having. How do you address that, sir?
Thank you so much, Prince. We appreciate them, those who came out on that fateful day as well. Standing for your country doesn't mean even you have to be 1,000. I've been in the US before. One man can stand somewhere and protest and send a message across. The other thing I've seen it many times in the US. In Africa, when people gather, people discourage them. Discourage what Vendetta Patrick and other people did because I supported them. The reason I supported them because it was standing for the rule of law. Now that these things are continuously happening, nothing is improving. Rule of law is at a zero level. We believe that at this point, with a 42-year-old man with experience in government, an 80-year-old president who should have wisdom to lead, we said in all these things are happening on your watch. I believe that we need to create a situation to remind them, not just reminding them. They will say a shock to you, even that broadcasting this program, because the people will come out, they say what they want to say. It will come a point people want to stay in the street until action are taken. We are not going to vandalize anybody's property. We are not going to do anything contrary under the law. What the law calls for, Article 1 and Article 70, is what we're invoking. This is a protest of the willing. That is why you see Liberians are supporting it. Somebody just sent me the message of 10 days arrest. I should go pick it up for feeding. One of our Liberian brother in the US, Minnesota, gave us 150 sack of water. So people getting all coal, getting all agro, or getting all different things to maintain those protesters, those that were assembled. So I can tell you, the difference will be those that will come out, what they will be requesting for are genuine things they are requesting for. And trust me, after Tuesday, I will tell you, those lawmakers, renegade lawmakers that call themselves the tyrannical majority, they will return home to session. They cannot hold the country hostage. That's what we tell them. They cannot hold us hostage. The budget is passed. The budget does not put money in everybody's pocket. But when budgets are passed, there are things that the budget do and affect every Liberian positively. The budget passed, they have to do the roads. The budget passed, government pay domestic, they pay other companies they owe, they pay their employee. That's how it affects people. So we too want this budget to pass. And those that preside over the budget passage are not the rightful authority. I learned that somebody's going to court on Tuesday to put an injunction on the budget hearing. I'm hearing that. What kind of process is this? So this one, it is a kind of protest that the Liberian people themselves be yearning for. That is why they themselves are supporting the process financially, morally, spiritually. That's how the process looks. I'm telling you.
One would say that looking at this particular protest, the government just took over January. We've not even gone a year. Why can't you exercise restraint like you've been doing writing communication here, there, making sure to have them on record. Why can't you exercise restraint and allow us to enter 2025 before you come up with such, an action? Why this time around? Don't you think it's untimely? Don't you think all of these things are intended to strangulate the country, and the government will even use this to say, well, my people, you know, we're supposed to collect resources, we're supposed to collect taxes. These people action has hindered, us moving forward, or have hindered the progress. Don't you think that the government will have an excuse to say, well, these people, they are also politically controlled or politically induced? That's why they are coming up, and nobody should listen to them. What do you make of that, sir?
Let me say this to you. If we are deduced or we are being politically induced to take action, we'll not be begging like people to support this process. We'll be an action that will be taken. Let me say this. The same people on the flip side is saying, why we sat so long and we allow things to be happening? Why some people are saying this, some people are saying it is not timely because the government not go 1 year. The former government did not go 1 year, people were protesting here and there. You know about that as a journalist, as a talk show host, as a presenter. You saw the first Pay Our Money Back protest in Liberia during the Jovial regime. You saw that protest, Prince?
Yeah.
You saw the COP protest?
Yeah.
Council of Patriot. You saw the Save the Street protest? All those protests that were carrying on, the past government was still doing development for their people. So our assembly cannot stop them from doing what our assembly is enhancing the government inability to do what it's supposed to do. So it helping the government. Somebody now going to put an injunction on the budget hearing. How can an injunction placed on the budget hearing help the government? Our assembly, to bring them to session, is the one helping to aid them in the process, to aid Joseph Boakai to achieve the arrest agenda. You understand? Should we say they allow lawlessness to be the order of the day in the country? No. Should we sit to see should we sit and see the Supreme Court be disrespected on a daily basis and will fool our hand between our legs? No.
So you will be putting people, I'm sorry, but you will be putting people out on the street. Do you have a permit from the government? Because we heard in one or two corners, people were saying, as far as we are concerned, the government is not informed about this, and whoever that is doing this, or the group of people that is doing this, will be dealt with because they must have a legal document from the government giving them that authority to be able to assemble. So do you have have you made any request to the government asking, for a permission to be able to do this? Or is your action, are you just doing this in order to somebody will say, to cripple the government or to cripple the functions of activities come Tuesday?
Prince, there is no law that prohibits any Liberian not to assemble. There is no law. Article 1 of the Liberian Constitution is clear. Say all power are inherent in the people for their safety and their happiness. Article 17 say all Liberians have the right at all times to assemble peacefully without hindered by any state security forces when they want to petition their leaders on their happiness and their well-being. Those two articles cannot be violated by no Minister of Justice. And I know that we know that. I don't need a lawyer to interpret those two articles. It talks about the fundamental rights of people. So that my right to assemble to go petition my lawmaker. I don't need to ask any policeman to say, oh, because I'm going to capital building to go petition my lawmaker, I need permit for that. No. No, I don't need permit for that. I don't need to invoke the constitutional process. No. That is the reason why we told them they can guard the process. The police can guard the process, a peaceful assembly. Other people are protesting yesterday, they didn't have a permit. They didn't have a permit to invoke Article 17, Article 1. That is clear. So why you want to no? Those are saying those things, they're saying out of ignorance. I'm not.
Yeah, Honorable Soup, we saw something happening that was very strange under this government.
Mhm.
People went to the ministerial complex at the time when this government just took over. They were having their first cabinet meeting to express some level of dissatisfaction. And we saw what happened. The videos are here. We can play that video. People were manhandled. They were beating. Some were, forcefully placed behind cars and the rest of it. We saw what also happened at the University of Liberia, at the campuses of the University of Liberia, where students who were agitating, that the right thing should be done, they were also beating. Police marched at that particular place and beat them. Several areas. We saw protests or people trying to gather, even at the level of the Ministry of Youth and Sports, when there were people who were part of this particular, how you call, a
Bridge and
project.
waterway.
Sorry.
The bridge and
Yes,
waterway.
thank you very much. The Bridge and Waterway Project. We saw police going there, and brutalizing these people. One would say, how guarantee is this particular process that again the police will not be able to use brutal force like they have been using, especially on peaceful citizens? What is the guarantee that they have that this government will not use the police to be able to manhandle people?
Let me say this, you Prince. That is why our international partners are speaking even before the assembly. If you carefully read the statement coming from our traditional ally, the United States of America, it says, in certain part of the paragraph, it says, we are closely and carefully monitoring the situation in Liberia.
Sure.
And it went further to say the rule of law should be respected. So when a diplomatic language is being used, that means they're following all police brutality in the country. They're following all the instances that people are being brutalized. So moving forward, I will put my hand no fear. In fact, in the morning, Prince, I will send you a video of mine when I arrive on the scene. We'll be there on the scene. We'll be there to stay with our people on the scene, and the petition will be read to our lawmakers. So there is no fear for that. There's no
Now,
fear for that.
usually what we see, Honorable Soup, is that people will come up with all of these different gatherings, and it only lasts for 2 3 hours. At the end of the day, statements are read, all of the flimsy things, are said at those gatherings, and at the end of the day, people disperse, and that is it. And in fact, things will even degenerate. So is there something that will be sustained, or you just go there, you read statement as usual, give the people, and you turn your back, and the same old disrespect for the rule of law is carried on? What makes this different from every other protest?
What made this different? There will be no business as usual after the protest. If they are still being vehement in a decision, we'll always go and protest to them. After this protest, they announce protest on Tuesday. If you guys don't go back to session, we will go protest to the RLJ hotel. And we compare the hotel to put them outside. We never let them to go stay in hotel. They will go to their family and do the Liberian people job. You cannot have responsible people that you elected to be responsible. They be in hotel for almost 4 months. That being reckless and irresponsible on their part. Now what we elected them for? We elected them to do the job for the Liberian people. You understand? So that constituent now is going to meet them at Capitol buildings where we send them to represent us. Some of them are going to protest to, that we're going to read our petition to. They are not even gone back to that constituent almost 7 months. You understand? They don't even know, the constituent doesn't even know what they're doing at Capitol building for them. You are not part no law for the past 3 months. Before you are in confusion. You're receiving bribe to remove your colleague. So what we're paying you for? So we pay you, but you still want to receive bribe and violate the Constitution. And that is why we are calling the attention of the international community to place attention on all those people that receive bribe. It's a criminal offense to receive bribe. to do a job that you constitutionally being paid for. You understand? It is a crime on our criminal procedure law. So those that are receiving the bribe will be punished, and those who get the bribe should be punished. So where all the money come from? In the kind of struggling economy, you see almost $3 million to remove 1 million, almost 3 more. This person cannot go on. You hold the country hostage. And some other thing, we're going to pay for them, we're going to sit them for our hand. We're not going to do that. Our peaceful and non-political rally assembly will go ahead peacefully. We are asking the security force to guard the process. Let car pass freely. But we're going to assemble in more than 10,000. I can tell you that one for free.
So, Honorable Janje, this is the concern that many people are having as it relates to this entire process. People are saying that this thing is political. We're listening to the people there up Capitol Hill, even though you told us earlier that this is not the only thing that you are, you are calling government for. You are calling government to ensure that they do what is right, the mysterious killings that are going on around the place and several other issues you are calling government for. But one would say, especially when it comes to this issue that is happening up the Capitol Hill there, it's political. This is not the first time it happened. We were here, we saw what happened to the former Honorable Mervyn Snow, who was, removed. We saw what happened to Ellis Tyler. This is not the first time. So why must this be also a part of your concern when it is political? People doing their political thing. Why must it be part of your concern?
What is political when it is not legal? That means it become an illegal process. That is why political issues are legal issues. We legitimize them politically by going to the pool legally to vote for them. You understand? So when we legitimize and give you our tenure position, which is 6 years to 9 years, what you need to do is to do the right thing for us. We are not saying don't move your speaker. Use our rules and use the law, use the constitution to remove him. But to remove them, you cannot even get it 49. But you're holding the country hostage. That's why it's part of our petition. You cannot hold the country hostage. The Unity Party arrested being here hostage and they're sleeping on this. So we are patriotic Liberians, according on them to go to work so the agenda can be achieved for the benefit of the Liberian people. So that our laws cannot just be violated because people feel they are the hand of power. So the Supreme Court can be respected because people believe that they have power and they go to appoint new chiefs, so they're intimidating these people. You understand? So that is the difference between this situation. So it's not just because it's political you should leave it. What is political cannot be expedient, cannot be legal.
Honorable Janje, you are a political figure. You are either associating or associated yourself with a political institution. Are you
Sure.
doing this because you are angry? You lost the election, and at the end of the day, quote unquote, some of your people were taken out of job. Are you using this to be able to push your political agenda, or you are doing it from a genuine standpoint as a Liberian who is interested in the rule of law and in democracy in your nation? Tell us, how are you doing this?
Let me say this to you. There is not time for election to run campaign. I ran way in Basel. The impasse at capital building and the violation of constitution is bigger than even running. It's not about being political. When the political system comes with the political actions, you understand? In the political system comes with the political actions. But right now we are looking at the violations, the continuous violation. So it's a genuine and genuine action that we're pushing. It is not an action that I believe no, I don't want to be president. I'm far from that. The only thing we're fighting for the right issue for our country so we can be at peace. The cloud in Liberia now is still sets the pace. It tells you that people are still bitter. People are still divided the way things are going. We expect things to be moving smoothly because we have transitioned from another government to another government. People need to live in peace and harmony. People not need to be going after because they are not or they never supported you. So my action is combined with the frustration in the faces or in the eyes of the Liberian people. You remove people from job, they are hopeless, their kids are not in school, you are violating the Constitution, you are not doing the work of the Liberian people, and people believe that justice ministers will go and interpret what the High Court say. Oh, we're not going to sit and allow this thing. We need to bring these people to book.
So how do you send the message over to those Liberians that are not in Liberia, but across the world that are currently listening to you from the U.S., from Great Britain, Japan, just all over the world, India, Indonesia, etc., etc. So what message do you want to send to them? How can they be involved in this process? How can they ensure that this effort is supported? What is the message that you want to send to them in all of this?
The message I want to send to them is, look, Liberia is all you have. You can spend 30 years in America and other parts of the world. You will one day want to come back home. You don't want to come back home to see a Liberia is lawless. You don't want to come back home to see a Liberia where the rule of law has been breaking down. You don't want to come back to a country that where you want to see your code, the high code, are not being respected. You don't want to come to Liberia, you see lawmakers are fighting themselves. They're making law for the people. You don't want to come back to a Liberia that there is total breakdown of the rule of order. You want to come to a Liberia where you will be welcomed peacefully and your security will be setting for you. But you don't want to come to a Liberia where you have insecurity of coming. And that is why, because of this situation, most of our people are not coming down this December in Liberia. It has an economic impact on our people as well. Because the situation is still a different picture of Liberia out there. Somebody say, I go to Liberia, people disrespecting code, nobody cares for the rule of law, people can do anything to anybody, this, that. Nobody wants to come to that kind of Liberia. So we want a Liberia that when you come, you can stay out in the night. Anytime you want to go, you go home. You don't want to come to a Liberia where you wake up one morning, somebody advocating for data, they kill him. You don't want to see a Liberia that motorcycle can be killed and then they come from inside. So we want you to come see a Liberia. When you come back home, to see it peaceful, to see people moving together, to see unity and reconciliation. That's the kind of Liberia set for you in our advocacy. So it is not just an issue about us. It's about us setting the stage for those in the diaspora, other part of Liberia, to understand that this Liberia we want. Why would we be saying that someone people careful like we? If you come to the country, you see checkpoint all over the place. I just say fighting war because the way they governing, they made it better than too much in the people. We cannot live that kind of life. We will not watch it or see it happening. We're going to confront these people positively to bring them to their knees to do the right thing for the Liberian people. You have a job, you're not campaigning anymore.
Robert Janje, this is another concern that people are having. The Unity Party is not very tolerant in ensuring that people should exercise their democratic franchise. We have seen it. In fact, we saw it during their 12 years. We are seeing it now, just in less than 1 year. The way they're proceeding, that is a serious concern. Are you concerned about your life and those who are planning this with you? Are you concerned about it?
We're not just concerned about only our lives, we are concerned about the lives of all Liberians. So should we sit because we believe that they are violent people, they are not tolerant, so they allow these things to happen? People be lost in their lives every day. The other day, a lady was kidnapped. Few days ago, 2 motorcycles were killed. Parts were extracted from them. That why we should sit there and settle down for? No, we will not settle down for this. The only thing we're going to settle down for, the government to do the right thing to respect the rule of law. No, let me say this. Respectability of the rule of law brings development. As they are proceeding today, there is no well-known company who can invest in Liberia. Because they believe that investment will be a waste. Because they don't see the thing of peace. So we want to create that platform that there will be investment incentive. So they can feel the atmosphere that is, yes, indeed, there's a rule of law in Liberia. When you carry your money there, People look at it, you go to code, the code will talk for you.
So, like you said earlier, sir, that this thing is non-political. It has no political, affiliation, political support, and etc. But one way I ask the question. Quite recently, we saw a statement coming from the ANC, in condemnation of what is happening in Liberia, of Capitol Hill, and etc. So, my question to you is, are the other political parties, are they involved, are they talking to you behind the scene that look, do they want to steal this show, or are you working with them on the ground so that they can lend you the support, or it's just the Liberian people thing? Let's hear from you on this, sir.
Those in ANC, they are Liberians. Those in the very unity party, they are Liberians. Those in CDC, they are Liberians. Those in all the political parties are Liberians. You saw a unity party girl, I was seeing a video yesterday. She was on the street, on the car. Understand? Championing the call for this protest. She's not thinking about party. She's thinking about Liberia. We are all thinking about Liberia. So political party people, fine. They are Liberians. That's why we encourage, that's why we call it the non-partisan peaceful assembly. The non-partisan, non-violent peaceful assembly. That's what we're carrying out. So you can come from AMC, we work together. Everybody, they can add their voices to our voices to make sure and compare these people to do the right thing for the Liberian people. That's just what we signed up for. That's why I'm a Liberian for. That's why I must obey my constitution. So, Prince, that's just a situation. So we're talking to everybody involved. Everybody involved.
So, fellow Liberians, we have with us the former superintendent of Grand Bassa County, Honorable Janje Bape, who is, with us in studio and explaining to us relative to the Tuesday's gathering of Liberians to petition their government to respect the rule of law, etc., etc. The number is up there. Those of you who have questions, who have comments, who have concern, you can give us a call. The number to call is 443-991-3356 as usual. You can give us a call, and he is here with us in studio. You can ask your question, and you can, be able to put forth whatever the comments or the concerns are. But Honorable Soup, this is what some people are saying in other parts of, the streets. They are saying that this thing, people are just doing it to be able to collect money as usual. Maybe, you guys just want money. How do you despair that particular, notion, that particular innuendos, like somebody would say, that is coming from other people? Oh, the people broke. The people want money and they are not in power again. I mean, as former superintendent, we know people will bring money. How do you speak to that, or those allegations? I'm sorry, you are muted, sir.
Yeah, thank you. The first thing here is I have stood up against injustices many occasions. This is not the first time. Madam said it 12 years. So those who talk about money, those are people that want to distract the people. How much is the money? Somebody call you, oh, you will contribute. Their money big for the protest. It's not about money. Somebody. So it's not about money. If it were money, we're going to use political people to come here to do it. It's not about money. It's about what is happening. If you choose between speculation and the lives of the Liberian people that have been destroyed and the constitution have been violated, choose between the speculation. You understand? It's not about me. It's about the insecurity rates in the country right now. It's about the breakdown of rule of law in the country right now. You put your radio on, you get on Facebook, you see lawmakers at Chinchin, what a capital building, insulting each other. Is that what we're going to settle for? Is that what we're going to take money for to go protest for? No. We are doing it because we believe that if we set, the worst will happen and history will judge us wrongly. I don't want to be part of a society where my grandchildren or my children will come, Daddy, you didn't do this for us, this for the country like this. So that people speculate about me. People speculate about Jesus. You understand? People speculate about the great prophets in the world.
So,
still,
Honorable Soup, what
they
what
took the
are the route or the protocol for Tuesday's program? Like usually,
oh,
maybe you say people have to gather here. So, what is the protocol of it?
so what we're doing is that right after this show, I came home very late. So right after the show, we're going to have a conference call with all our coordinators. They have to do the destination of what the pickup point will be. So by tomorrow, it will be out and it will be on an announcement what the buses to pick up people from who will gather for the buses to come. So the pickup point will be announced tomorrow.
Well, the pickup points will be announced tomorrow. So, fellow Liberians, you can give us a call. The number to call is 443-991-3356. Again, the number to call and have an interaction with the honorable is 443-991-3356. Now, what are the organizations that are heading this entire process? Is it an organization that was just formed? Because we know sometimes when people want to do things, they will just call the name. Well, this organization united for this, united for that. Some of them, they are just established in a period of 2 or 3 days. What can you say as it relates to the organization that is organizing this, that is taking charge of this? How long have they been around?
Concern Librarian being an organization that been around for over 10 years. Concern you for Common People being an organization that been around for over 10 years. Citizen United for Progress have been around for over 10 years. Cry for Justice been around for over 5 to 6 years. So these are organizations that have been existing over the years. Those who even in the organization were not born yesterday or 2 days ago, but they are people that want to stand for the rights of the Liberian people. They are people that want to bring sanctity to the political theater. They are people that want to see the rule of law being respected at all times. So those people will say, oh, this, that. No, this is not our focus. We don't want to be distracted from our main points. We want to be focused on our agenda. Our objective is to make sure we come out on Tuesday, we give our petition, we wait for the response on the petition, and we announce the next action on the same very day.
So what if you are called tomorrow, Honorable? What if you are called tomorrow by any, government official and say, well, we understand you guys are raising this issue. Now it is of concern. It's a national issue. Internationally, people are following. Let's come on the table. Let's talk. There is a way that we can, solve this issue. Those things that you are raising can be solved. What would be your approach?
There is no secret meeting in this process. Those who want to make kind of call it, the intended to make kind of call, they will get on the radio and demand the government to respect the rule of law. Those that play the middle kind of calls, they must get ready to tell the president in the face that you and the justice minister they didn't do well to downplay the Supreme Court ruling, to disrespect the Supreme Court. You understand? Those that want to make the call, they must compare the renegade lawmaker to go back in the mean chamber to do their work for the Liberian people. So they must get people to make the calls for that. To call me, say, I go, but no. I'm beyond that. I'm beyond that level. And I admit you just call sit down table, compromise. No, we're not going to compromise the interest of nobody. We're not going to risk people because of our own selfish interest. No. When they want meet, they must go meet with those that are causing the problem for the Liberian people. In a serious country, where you just wake up, by now, police director should be dismissed by now. You understand? By now, the Minister of State should be dismissed by now. By now, the public minister should be dismissed by now. So those that want to make a call, they will recommend to Bangladesh people be dismissed before they make call to me. I don't need their call. The only call I need for us to rally together in this country to make sure that the right thing happens, that laws are being respected. We cannot live in a country just in 1 year of President Baga rule, things are happening wrongfully, and we think we're going to fool our hand. Somebody say, wait for 2027. That means we're not finished. We're not already planning the country with less than 6 million people. They will not finish. They will finish. So we're not going to wait for that.
I know you've been having series of meetings, and your itinerary is very loaded with different meetings. So we want to say, what is your last word as you take leave of us? Because I know there are a lot of consultations you are doing. You know, people are calling you, you are calling people. Uh, what is your last word? And in your last word, why, if people wants to contribute, there are others maybe who are in the US or in other parts of the world or in Liberia. Maybe they want to say, well, we can provide water, we can provide this, we can provide that. I just want you to include it in your closing statement, sir.
So, what I want firstly to appreciate those who've been contributing towards the process. Their contributions are meaningful for the growth and development of Liberia, for the peace and stability of Liberia, for the rule of law to prevail over main decisions. So I want to appreciate them. A lot of people calling. I want to encourage other people. I can share my number with you, my mobile money number, share with them. That Nico or Dan, the group can receive it. Every time we receive on it, we put in a group chat. Everybody acknowledge that. They know how it's been spent, how mobilization has been being done. We've been getting pickup. Somebody gave out 2 pickup the other day. We need some more car, some more pickup for tomorrow, so that the mobilization can go across District 17, District 1, different places, so that people can come out. So we need a support. So I can call my number and you share your number on the screen. So those who want to at least send that support to the number, they can send that support and we'll acknowledge that and we'll get a count of what they are contributing. It's not money that coming to me to eat. No, it's money that coming to the team to work. Start getting the internet on every day. Make sure that you're going from district to district. The PA system is being rented from different district to different district. So these are things. So I encourage all of you, you in the diaspora, encourage your people on ground to join this process. They must join this process. They want to know that it is not, we're not doing it for ourselves, we're doing it for the Liberian people to be at peace, so that we cannot be taking law into our own hand, because our lawmakers are law, because we are those that are supposed to abide by the law, they are not abiding by the law. So I can call my number if you're ready.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, go ahead. Call the number, please.
0886
Yeah.
525
Hmm.
555.
Okay.
0777
Yeah.
04.
You said 04?
Yeah, 04
Yes, sir.
1044. And the
Okay, zero
name on
triple
the,
seven. Okay,
yeah,
07770410044. Okay, the name. Yep.
yeah, yeah. So the name is Janje Baba, is on the name. I'm the
Okay.
chairman
Yeah.
for the group. So whenever we receive any donation in cash or whatever it is, we report it to the group chat. I know you've been following some of them as well, so that people can acknowledge what have come in.
So this is both the how you call
The
mobile
Lone Star and
money,
Orange.
cash
Yeah.
app, the both of them, right?
Both of them are on mobile money. I don't know
Okay.
cash out. Yeah, on mobile
Okay.
money.
So let me just put this here. Let me just put this here. I'm definitely going to put it there. But again, uh, Honorable Janji, I want to say thank you so very kindly. I know that you are really, very busy, very busy, especially when it comes to the organizing and the planning of this thing. But before we take a leave of you, we see that you are doing almost all of the appearance. Is this just a one man show, or are you working,
No,
as
as
a
only
team?
appearing on your show just this evening. The other team members were on Kings FM. Some were on Voice of Liberia. Some were on Freedom FM. And tomorrow morning the team will be divided. Some will be on Banana FM. Some will be on True FM. Some will be on Vera Media Institution tomorrow. So I only appear because at that time it's late in Liberia. Most
Okay.
of the guys come from all the tired, the resting. I should have been resting, but now I'm telling you, it was very hectic today. But again, because of the Liberian people, we don't need to rest, and the writing should be done. So that's just is that a one-man show. Guys
Okay.
normally appear and they speak to the Liberian people at different intervals.
All right. So again, I want to say thank you so much, Honorable Janje, for always availing yourself, especially at this time. of the morning from your end. I want to say thank you so very much, and our prayers are with you. We are definitely going to put out the number, and our prayers are with you. And again, we want to say, be safe out there. We know that these are terrible times in Liberia, judging from what is happening, the intolerance of this government. Very, very thin skin. They don't like criticism, and they don't like anything that will be able to compel them to do what is right. They want to do it in their own way, time, and manner. But again, our prayers are with you, and we will ensure whatever that we can do from this end, we will do
Yeah.
it. But again, we want to say thank you very much to you and the team, and you have our support for a better Liberia. Because, like you said from the beginning, we would not be excited if Liberia, especially when it comes to the rule of law, is upside down. Because many of us are victims. Can you imagine? People will leave from here with all of their hard-earned money, go to Liberia, go and buy land. As soon as they turn around, somebody take the land. So these are some of the reforms I believe people like you are really pushing for. That the
Yeah.
rule of law will be respected, that Liberians will not be, seen as different in their own country. And this thing is very serious. There are some
Yeah.
Liberians, who have investment in Liberia. They will entrust their money to people, and when they go back home, because these people know that the system is so corrupt and the system
Yeah.
can't do anything, they say, "Carry the court." Carrying the coke. Like somebody did that thing to me. But anyway, even though I got what I was supposed to get, because I told them I will not carry them to court. I'm from Grand Cape and Lofa. The only place that I can carry them is to my ancestors. And quick, they were able, but not many people. Yeah, not many people can do that. I can say that for sure. I don't go to court. I carry you to my ancestors. They will judge the case. And when I carry you and anybody that belong. But Liberians are victims. The last time we saw somebody crying on the internet and she
Yes,
sent
I
her
saw
money to
that.
somebody, and the
Yeah.
person said, "Carry me to court." And this lady went to court. In fact, she got frustrated because there was just gray up and down. So we believe that this fight is not only a fight for Liberia, but it's a fight for every one of us, so that the rule of law can be respected and restored. So we are with you in our prayers, and you have our support towards everything you are doing. Thank you so very kindly for taking up the time to be with us, and our lines are always open. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. Okay. So, fellow Liberian, there we have it. The Honorable Janje was with us. We're going to put out the number. We're going to definitely put out the number. We're going to put out the number. As you know, this is serious. It's very serious. It is very, very serious. And it is scary. Not only serious, but it is scary. Let me say to you, fellow Liberians, that this government is taking the Liberian people for granted. It's taking the Liberian people for fun, as somebody will say. They're playing fun out of the Liberian people. And we want to be grateful that people like Janje and others can stand up to this tyrannic regime. We cannot continue to remain complacent in the midst of all of these atrocities that are committed by this government. Look at what is happening. Our brothers who are engaged in the motorcyclist stuff, these people will collect their motorcycle and kill them. Look at the level of death. I mean, mysterious death that is happening in Liberia. So must we sit and fold our arms? No, we can't sit and fold our arms. So I want to say thanks to Honorable Janje and others who are also doing what they are doing. We want to say thanks to all of them, and our support are with them. On this note, fellow Liberians, we want to say thanks to each and every one of you. And we got to do what we got to do. We got to ensure that we go where we're supposed to go and make sure the hours are utilized. So again, I want to say thanks to each and every one of you for taking the time off. On this note, fellow Liberians, we want to say bye from our end. But before we take a leave of you, let me inform you that we will be in Iowa. There's going to be this particular strategic meeting in Iowa. We will be in Iowa from the 27th of December to the 28th. We will be in Iowa for this strategic meeting, and all of you are invited. The address is there and the place is there where we'll be meeting. Liberians, all of you are invited. Let us stand up in Iowa. Let us have a great gathering in Iowa. There is a need for us to wake up. There is a need for us to stand up. We cannot be here in the United States of America and allowing Joseph Newman Boyka to just do anything and walk away with impunity. It is about time that we tell Mr. Boyka and his crooks and his cronies that enough is enough. So again, we want to say thanks to each and every one of you. on this note, we take our leave. Thank you, and thank you so very kindly while we do this and we get ourselves ready to uh, take our leave. So let's do this right here. Let's listen to this right here.
But I stood there and said, no, that was wrong. I would not support it. That I reject it. I would not support it, and it should not be the opinion of the Senate. Then I would do an opinion for the Senate to follow. So the House left it. They went to session, and I heard that I was away for a while before I got to the chamber. I was informed that they already announced that the President pro tempore already announced that the Senate has taken a decision to support the majority. And that's why I stood up there and said, even though I was not here, but I maintain my position as the legal counsel for the Senate, as the chairperson on the Committee on Judiciary of the Senate, as the official legal advisor to the Senate, that no, we have proceeded wrongly, and that we should not, and that we should notify everything.
Just imagine, look at what is happening, right? Look at what is happening. He is the legal person for the House of Senate. To tell you that these guys are so desperate that they will leave the legal person, go and do whatever they want to do, and say, oh, let's forget about this man. You see how these guys are proceeding? And that's why these guys need to be checkmate. We need to checkmate them. You elected somebody as the legal man for the House, and such a decision is taken. Few group of people just say, well, the majority here, we're not listening to the law. We're not consulting you. We're not inform you. You can either do it. Go and sit down. You see how dangerous our nation is becoming. And these are the people that we elected for them to ensure that the law is respected, for them to ensure that the right thing is done or the right things are done. But look at how they are proceeding. And they are proceeding because they know that you and I, forget it, we're nothing. At the end of the day, that noise will cause. But fellow Liberian, time have caught up with us and we got to go. Again, we want to say to all of you, we will be having this particular strategic meeting in Iowa, and all of you, I mean, all of you are welcome. All of you are welcome. All of you are welcome. On this note, we want to say thank you so very kindly. And until we meet again here another day, God bless you. Thank you so very kindly. We appreciate you and have yourself a God bless day. Bye from our end.